Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shireen. Sorry, we had technical issues, but it's okay now. So as you can see, today's topic is Davinia. D, you want to go ahead?
Sure, sure. So we're going to be discussing finding the right partner, and today's episode is Know Yourself.
Okay, and we will be having how many episodes?
I believe we'll be having about 5 episodes, each one bringing us closer and closer to the goal.
Okay, yeah. So I want to start off here by asking some question to ponder, like, for example, when people thinking of finding a partner or knowing themselves actually to finding a partner, how do you um, how do you communicate? You have to one of the question you have to ask yourself, how am I communicating? Right? Another question you would probably ask yourself is, what am I interested in? Am I a procrastinator? What am I looking for in a relationship? Am I a deceiver? Yes, guys, some of you guys are deceiver. What are my dark sides?
That's right.
Am I a pushover? Am I a yes person? What would you improve? What are your goals? What are you willing to do or willing to take? Right? These are important questions we should ask ourselves,
That's
right?
right.
And that is how we want to start. And what do you get passionate about? You want to talk about that a little bit, Dee?
Yeah, I think you're touching on some great points, Shireen, for sure. It's what makes you feel good, what upsets you, what are your triggers. Um, can you imagine the time in your life where you truly felt good about yourself, happy? And from that moment on, has it stayed with you or has something changed? Because it really is important to know yourself before looking for another person. And instead of compromising or maybe falling back on past experiences, good and bad, it's you really just need to take the time to discover who you are first. And
Exactly. So
yeah,
we need to, guys, we need to actually look at ourselves inside and out. How are we
mhm,
going to do that? Right? Because there is some, you see, a lot of people don't take responsibility for knowing themselves and know what is it they truly want to be, or what makes them have joy, right? A lot of people don't do that. They don't even know. Some people, you ask them, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, they don't even know, right?
right, or
And I
yeah,
think before a person can really enter into a relationship, we're going to really have to look at ourselves and making sure that we understand ourselves before we move into a relationship. For example, say for example, you're coming out of a dysfunctional family, right?
right,
And you know that, and because you're from a dysfunctional family, some of the issues you may carry it into another relationship, right? You want to discuss that a little bit, D?
yes, and that's true because they're familiar. So sometimes when we meet somebody, for example, and we start dating, and then we start seeing things that maybe are not so great. Maybe you've told yourself, oh, I would never settle for that. But, and it's not a positive thing, it's a negative thing. Say, for instance, it's somebody who drinks too much. But then he or she does all these other great things. So you want to overlook the drinking and you will say to yourself, oftentimes, I know personally people who've done this in this situation will say, Well, my father was a drinker and my parents are still together, so maybe I can fix it in this person as well. And often the case there is that it ends up leading to a lot of disappointment. So it is important to understand the dysfunction that you come from, you, me, others come from first, and then truly truly own that instead of shying away from it. And then you can start building strength from there. Because again, how many times even myself have said, "Oh, I would never get into a relationship with somebody who does, ABC kind of thing." And then sure enough, I'm in a
And you
relationship
with
with
that
somebody who
person.
does exactly those things because maybe I grew up watching those things. And so it felt familiar. And that's another, we can get attracted to somebody, we don't know why, because they feel familiar. But make sure you understand, is that familiar feeling based on something positive from your past or something negative from your past?
And another thing, guys, too, you need to know your core value. Some of us
Hmm.
don't even understand what our core values are, right?
Yeah.
You go into a relationship, right? And your values are not aligned with another person's values. Now, say for example, one person is Christian and the other one isn't. Now, because you come into a situation where you're desperate, I don't know, I wouldn't say desperate, but you feel that you had to compromise
Yeah.
and you truly talk to somebody who isn't really what you want, right?
Hmm.
And then you're ending up in a situation with that person. Now, on Sundays, that person going to want to go to church, and then you aren't, right? Or you
Right.
going to want to vice versa. And then you're ending up, you feel lonely because that person is always gone to church and you and that person doesn't have anything in common. And that's what you want to try to avoid. So understand your core value. Like you have some people, they lie, right? They
Hmm.
don't have no morals. Their morals is just disturbed. And
Right.
you even small lies bother you. How can you be with a person like that? Right? So you
Right.
have to understand your true core value to make sure before you go into a relationship. Right? Some people have dark side to them, right?
Hmm.
Right? And you're not going to see those dark side when you just start dating that person. So if you understand yourself, because if you're happy with yourself, sometimes if you're happy with yourself, you're pleased with yourself, you will draw those people towards you, happy people and the right type of people towards you, right? You don't want to
Right.
draw somebody who is clingy towards you, because if you're rushing into a relationship fast, then you will probably have to deal with like toxic people, because you want to take your time, you want to spend the time. Nothing is wrong with being with you,
That's
right?
right.
Some
Don't
people
feel
think that,
pressured. I agree
right,
with
there's
you.
no pressure. Get to
Hmm.
know yourself, get to know if I like running, get to know if you like hiking, get to know if you just like to sit on the chair and watch TV, right?
That's right.
Or if you get somebody who likes to sit on the chair and watch you, can you handle that? Right? So you
Right.
have to know what is it you want. So you have to know yourself to the T before you go into a relationship with somebody.
That's right. Your likes, the good and the bad. If you love to dance, you're not going to be really super happy with somebody who doesn't. Like if that's your true joy, for example, or you love to sing and that's your true joy, and you're with somebody who keeps telling you, "Can you go into another room and sing? I can't stand it. I want to watch hockey," for example. Like, how is that bringing out, or how is that feeding your soul, your spirit, right?
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But a lot of times we feel this pressure and this rush. And if somebody you've met and it feels like it's going well, but then they're rushing you, let's move in together, let's do this together, it's that's actually a red flag. So And you will know it because your gut feeling will feel that, oh, this doesn't feel quite right. But then you'll get convinced to do, have excitement and do something daring for a change. Like, don't get caught into that. If you're not that type of person, you're a careful person. Don't let somebody make you feel less than for not getting into the excitement of the meeting, if you know what I'm trying to say. It's you feel coerced.
And yeah, and all, you're absolutely right. Don't let people coerce you into something that you're not comfortable with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you know yourself, you know if you're emotionally available at that point,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you know if you're emotionally available. If you're not emotionally available because maybe you have a past relationship, you want to deal with that first, right? Don't bother to drag anybody into your mess, because if you're not emotionally available, that relationship won't work, right?
Exactly.
You have to work
Exactly.
on you. Some of us have some bad behavior. Ditch the bad habits,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Work on, if you know there's things about yourself that you have to work on. Don't ignore them. And for the excitement of a new relationship, for example, don't put that on hold. Don't put yourself on hold for a new relationship. Put yourself first. Clear up what you want to clear up within yourself first. And then you're free. You don't have to put anything on hold. You're open to the right relationship. It's the beginning.
Right. You just come out of a relationship, guys. Now you have to assess your past relationship. Say you just came out of a relationship.
Yeah.
It wasn't going well. Or you had 3 relationships before, 3 long-term relationship. It wasn't going well. Now, I'm not saying that it's because of you, but you can ask yourself, why am I attracting these people that why isn't the relationship working? Right? There's only one denominator here, right? And it's
Right.
yourself. So you have to assess, you have to look at that and say, okay, I was with Dick, Tom, and Harry. No, I was with Dick, Tom, and Harry. Okay, Dick says this, Dick says that, Harry says this. Why? You have to assess those things and don't go in there and do the same thing, make the same mistake, right? Because some of us, we don't clean up our dirty ways, but yet we want to go into another relationship and it's the same thing the person going to find fault with. The very same thing.
Yeah,
You
eventually
cannot
it
hide
comes
it. You
up.
can hide it for the first maybe
Yeah,
20 months. But after that, you can't hide it because you're who you are unless you truly want to change,
that's right. Yeah,
right?
that's right. Good point. Yeah, so assess your past. Assess your past experiences. If you're feeling unhappy and you're always thinking it never works out for me, everybody I date, it's a disaster in the end. You do definitely have to ask those hard questions. It's not necessarily, is it me? That's not the question. It's, okay, it is them too. It could easily be them. It's just you keep picking them.
Right. You keep
Right?
you keep picking the wrong people.
Yeah, right.
You're drawing the wrong people to you because you don't have a glass where you can see it clearly. But if you understand who you are truly, you will understand that you don't want that,
Right.
right? You
Right.
have to love yourself. You have to be comfortable in your own self, right?
Yes.
Some of us need therapy, right?
Mhm.
Or some of us have some past behavior. Some of us have what would I say? Some of us mother or our father left us, and so we have
Abandonment issues.
abandoned issue. And because we have abandoned issue, we can't be alone.
Hmm.
Really? As you jump, it's like you're a monkey. You ever see monkey hold on one tree to the other. Give it a break,
Yeah.
right? One break, one person at a time. right? You finish this relationship, it never work out. Whoa, you have to go on again. Not even 2 months. You're back on it again.
It's true.
Ask yourself questions. You must have a hobby. You must have something that you like. Love
Or ask
yourself.
yourself the question, what is it you're trying to avoid that you have to keep rushing into the next relationship?
Right.
What are
Right.
those hard feelings that you don't want to acknowledge? What do you want to keep suppressed? Right? So there's that both sides to it. It's both sides. Yeah.
Right. And some of us, when we're in a relationship, we are not really being truthful. We don't even, I don't think we know who we are. We come into the relationship with this mask on our face. And then it's like an onion. And then you peel it, then the real true person come out. Why you guys doing that? If
Exactly.
you know you're a gambler and you're into a relationship,
Hmm.
that's the first thing you need to tell the person. I have an addiction issue.
Exactly. Exactly. But that never happens.
Right? Why? If you're gonna do the crime, do the time. That's what they
Yeah.
said. If you own it, you have to own who you are.
Be-
So obviously, if you're not proud of what you're doing and you're hiding it, that means you know something is wrong. So change it.
Exactly. Very good point. That's right. Yeah. If you're ashamed of something, you're trying to hide it from your partner or your date. Well, that is a true crisis there. That is a flag that's saying you do need to do something about it. But some people don't do anything about it because they want to continue to do those things.
I went on a date and I asked the guy, what is it he's looking for? Him say,
Yep.
I'm looking for a beautiful woman. And he's looking for a lady that shapes very nice. So I said to him, but there's lots of beautiful women. There is how much billion people on the planet. There is lots of beautiful women out there, right? And I had to go into his thoughts. Actually, I have to drag it out of him. What is it he's really looking for? Some of us know that we're looking for somebody who is sapisexual, or we get turned on by things like that. We're looking for a person who is financially stable. We're looking for somebody who um is you maybe not looking for a strong woman, right?
Hmm.
You know what you're looking for. If you understand yourself, you know what goes best with your personality. If you're introverted, maybe you want to have somebody maybe extroverted. I don't know.
Or
So
maybe
those
not
are things you
extreme.
need.
Yeah.
As long as you know yourself, you will understand what is it you want. And you can't lie to yourself and lie to these people, right? And because you've been looking for 2 years and you didn't find anybody, then you just decided it's good enough. You're not going to
Yeah.
be happy. And that is what
Never.
and that is why conflict happen in a relationship, because you're really not happy. You're settling.
Yeah. Yeah. Settling never works. Relationships are hard because you're always navigating between two people and more, depending. If you have kids, they have kids, if it's a second or third marriage or whatever. But yes, it's hard enough when it's the right person. Can you imagine when it's not the right person? When it's all these well, I guess you could say the warts show up and you're not happy with that, right?
Right. You remember we were talking about the caregiver issue, like
Hmm.
some women just feel that they should take care of the man. I don't understand it. Like, you mean explain the caregiver issue to the audience here.
Well, I think people are familiar with it. There are a lot of people who um, like to feel needed. And women are especially prone to this in terms of they want to nurture and provide care. So when they see somebody or they talk to a partner who seems vulnerable, and needs help, it might ignite that nurturing instinct in us, or that nurturing characteristic you have, because maybe that's what you were doing for your parents growing up. Maybe you were doing that for your siblings because you came from a dysfunctional family and the parents weren't really around or responsible or whatever it might be. But you end up doing that, and instead of realizing that you're just somebody's maybe nurse, you mistake that for love.
Right.
Yeah, but it does. And then down the road, what gets upsetting is that if you need that person because you fell sick or you're upset about something, what you will notice is that they're not there for you.
You know what? When I was growing up, I could say that my mom wasn't she wasn't maternal.
Right.
And we had to, I mean, it could be because of our culture and because she was a single mom. But coming from that culture into, into North America culture, it's semi-what different. But it did, nevertheless, I love my mom to death, but still yet it creates inadequacy in me.
Right.
Because when I was growing, I had to cook, while she go out and earn an income. So I become the caregiver. And so all my life I was caring for people because I thought that was the norm. I would cook at a young age, clean the house, take care of everything. My child, I mean, I had a childhood, but it wasn't like what I have given my kids.
Right.
Like my kids didn't have to cook or clean or do anything. Them just live. They just enjoy their life. I mean, I give them a little chore, but not like it was like it's a must for me when I was growing up. It was my
That's
responsibility.
right. Yeah.
Now, when I enter my relationship, I was practically caregiving everybody around me,
Hmm.
right? Making sure that everybody, and then I get burnt out because my family was growing, and I realized it is not love. Because
Right.
when somebody love you, they give, you give.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And
So
I
we have to
to
be
and I
careful
understand that.
that we are not. That is why when some of us need therapy, that is why we have to understand ourselves and know if we come from a dysfunctional family, right? And we know there is an issue. Talk to somebody, ask them, go to a friend, talk to a friend. If you're in a relationship and it's not working out, discuss it with a friend and they'll tell you. Ask, how to know yourself? Ask your friend, how do they see you?
Yeah. Yeah, ask real friends, your true friends,
Real
people
friends.
people who want the best for you. Ask
Right.
those people. If you can find those people, those are the ones. Even if it's just one or two, that's enough. And then they'll be honest. And sometimes the truth hurts, but it's also a wake-up call. It's a way to put you on a different course. And we need that.
You know how you're gonna know yourself too? You're gonna know yourself by watching yourself.
Hmm.
It sounds funny, but this is just real. Know yourself by watching yourself. Sometimes some things come out of some of us mouth, and you have to just wonder, say, "Oh, that really come out of my mouth." You have to know. So you watch yourself. You watch your thoughts. You think about it. Certain things that you're saying. I don't know if I'm making sense here to anybody, but honestly, this is what you have to do. That
It's
is how you're going
true.
to know yourself, watch yourself, put effort into changing certain things, the dirty behavior that you have. Okay, you can't bring it into a relationship. Once you bring it into the relationship, then the relationship is going to be flawed. And then you're going to
Yeah,
have problem, right? You're going to
that's
have
right.
problem.
That's right. And usually when you're having bad relationship upon bad relationship, it doesn't start when it's not about the first relationship and then the second and then the third relationship. It starts much earlier than that, prior to your first relationship. And you need to it's helpful to go back to where the root of where do you think it all started. I'm
Right.
like you with the caregiver attitude. That that's a purpose. Suddenly, I have a purpose if I'm caring for someone. But like you, it's a burnout. You're always wanting everyone to be happy, and it's true. But then you yourself, I myself, it compromises my happiness.
Right. Because you're going to give, and you realize you're the only one giving. But two, you
Hmm.
need to understand that the other person wasn't asking you to give.
That's right.
Is you have that issue giving like that.
Yes,
And so they accept that.
with open arms they do.
Right.
But the minute you stop giving, they're like, "What's going on?" They get mad at you.
Right.
But they sort of, in a way, have a right to be mad at you because that's the side of you showed them from day one. And now they're wondering what happened to that. That's what I want back, right? So you end up sabotaging as well your relationship, not by lying. You didn't lie, but you were no boundaries. You were too caring, too there, too concerned when you didn't
Right.
need to be.
Now, we're all flawed,
Hmm.
guys. Even me flawed. Everybody flawed. I have
Shireen, you're
lots of
flawed.
issues. I
Don't
have
believe
lots
it.
of issues. Don't think that we are here saying that you're not flawed. I am flawed. Dee's flawed.
Yeah.
Everybody have flawed, but
Oh my
some of us
gosh.
have more than you can imagine. Some of us carry it's too heavy into a relationship. Some of your stress you bring into a relationship is too much to bear. You need to go take care of it. Some of us were in a relationship, and I know this one couple. She was with this guy, and he goes to school the whole entire 10 years she was with him.
Okay.
10 years
Yeah.
go to school. The guy didn't know what he wanted at all. Not at all.
Wow.
Right? So therefore, you can't, you have to. And then she let it go on for the last 10 years. Now you have to ask yourself, why did she allow that to continue for 10 years?
Well, that's it.
That's it.
Hmm.
Boy, I don't know.
Well,
So
I know
hold
of
on,
somebody.
D. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this too.
Okay.
Care about finding the right partner instead of care about working on you. Sorry, care about working on yourself before finding the right partner. That is should be number one.
It is.
Cause
It
partner
is
can't
number
come
one.
anytime. You can be sitting in the church and the partner come there and it just flow, right? Because if you have good energy, the right person will come towards you, right?
That's right. And you won't be shy when you know who you are. Not necessarily. We're all still learning who we are. I mean, that's what life's about. You're still growing and learning. But your core values and who you are when you come into this world, it's there's a lot that is already there. And so, but when you work on yourself and you're happy with yourself and you're doing the things you enjoy for yourself, and it's not a selfish thing. That's the problem. We grow up thinking if you keep focusing on yourself, that's too selfish. You're not supposed to be selfish. But I'm not talking about focusing on your looks all the time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about the whole it's really how you feed yourself spiritually. And that's not religion. That is just things that keep your energy bright and vibrant and glowing.
It is working on the best version of
That's
you.
right. Then there's nothing wrong with that. There's everything right with that. And then when you meet somebody who might be right, might be wrong, but you'll have the confidence to step forward and say, yeah, no, this isn't working. We're going to stop this now. Instead of thinking and going, oh, am I giving up a good thing? And we start overthinking and then we start talking ourselves into the wrong thing
Right.
because maybe it's because nobody's banging down our door. Maybe there's no lineup there that we could choose from. We get nervous that we're going to grow old alone.
So what?
Exactly.
Sometimes being alone is better than being with some people. Look, work on
True.
your goals and discovering who you are. Okay?
Yeah.
Instead of trying to have a list where you're trying to find that perfect person, right?
Right.
Travel, join groups, right?
Yeah.
Your soul search, do soul search for yourself. It is very rewarding actually when you soul search yourself and you find new things. Sometimes some of us don't even know what our true calling is because we're
No.
so
Oh
caught
my
up in
goodness.
trying to find a relationship. Search
Well,
yourself, know yourself,
you know
right?
what's interesting? You'll find people who are divorced and mothers, a big part of it, who have given their all to their children. And then people will ask them, like, what do you like? What do you enjoy? And how many times, myself included, have answered, I really have no idea.
Right. And
I've
then some
lost.
of us look, hold on, and that leads me into this. Some of us looking for somebody to let us feel happy,
Yeah.
or we want somebody to save us.
Right.
Well, you have to go look, guys. You have to go look, and nobody gonna save you. And
No.
if you trying to get somebody to save you, right? Because misery love company. Know that from problem to misery. Because no, you can't. If you can't save somebody. Don't try
No.
and get anybody to save you or save.
No.
And don't, when you're looking for somebody, don't bother. If you know yourself, you know if it's a project you're taking up. Because some people is really a project, right?
Some people
Right?
are a project. That's all they are.
Yeah. Some people are projects.
Yeah. But if there's anybody on who wants to comment or join or voice their opinions, feel free. I don't think we
Right.
really know how to do that.
Do what?
Let people in so they can say
Yeah, they
something.
can come in if they want to come in. I mean,
Okay.
they can make a comment, if them have anything to add here,
Okay,
right?
good. Good. I don't know.
Right? I mean, people, yeah, some people think you're a project. Like, I mean, some of us, we pick until we pick a project. We
Yeah.
can't save anybody. Guys, when you're done, change that person and finish with your project, then what?
Remember that quote that I couldn't remember the movie from, and it was,
Hmm.
we accept the love we think we deserve, right?
Right.
That's from the movie The Perks of Being a Wallflower, I was told.
Oh, yeah.
A very good movie. Coming of age, has some wisdom in there. And but that's a quote that sticks with everybody. And it's a very true quote because if you think about it, aside from that, in your past,
Mm-hmm.
there's a part of you that feels you can't have it all, that you can't have that perfect person, right? And then there's other women who are horrific. Like there's an actual book out that says why good men love bitches. And it's
My
like,
good woman love what? I
no,
didn't hear.
why good men love bitches,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And these are women who obviously know what they want, right? And
Yes.
now it's too bad that they have to be maybe not very nice, but at the same time, these are people who don't compromise. And those good men are feeling like that's the best they can get. Or
No,
they're
it's
just too
not.
nice. Or they want to fix. Maybe they're Mr. Fix It. Who knows?
Right. You can't fix people. You cannot fix people. People only can fix themselves. You cannot, you see, and as you said, compromise. You if you're going into a relationship, right? You need to know if you have a communication problem, because some of us, that is a big one for us. We can't communicate. We don't know how to communicate. Some of
Yeah.
us, if we're angry, we don't even know we're coming and we don't even know to say, you know what, not right now because I'm a little bit upset. Want to
Right.
just get angry and just lash out, and because that is all because you do not know how to communicate the right way. There is a way to do these things, and if you realize that you can't communicate, right, go on YouTube, go to read some book on how to communicate effectively,
Hmm.
right? Go do that because that is vital in a relationship. And if you lack communication, your relationships aren't going to work,
No, no.
right?
And it's so much easier when both partners know how to communicate.
Right, because
When
if
you're
you've
the
started,
only one who knows how to communicate and the other partner shuts down, it's very difficult.
right.
Yeah, it's very
And
difficult.
a big one, you need to own up to your mistake and you need to say, I am sorry, I'm wrong, right? If you can't
Okay,
say
how
you're
many?
sorry or you're wrong in a
Hmm.
relationship, or you even in a regular conversation, some people can agree to disagree. If you find that you cannot accept my, say I'm saying something and that is my philosophy, or that's how I see it,
Hmm.
right? Now, why wouldn't you can't accept my view? If you can't accept other people's view, you shouldn't be in a relationship, because obviously people going to have other views and it going to irritate you. So you must live in a box by yourself. So you need to go seek help and
Hmm.
try to be what's the word I'm looking for?
More open-minded and
More
accepting.
open-minded, correct? Because you're going
And
to
the
need that.
and the other thing is, you know, you need to be able to take, and I'm not saying take criticism all the time, but it's I know people, I don't want to be sexist, but I know men and women actually but men seem to be stronger in this way, is if you point out something that they've done that might be hurtful or maybe not great, they don't apologize for it or have a hard time apologizing. You get the two extremes. You get the ones that just say I'm sorry and they don't even know what they're sorry for. They just say it
Hmm.
just to keep the peace. And then you get the others who can't say sorry even when they know they've done something wrong.
Exactly. Yes.
And then they
And then
blame you for making them feel bad about what they did to you. So then you end up being, you're the victim twice. It's like they might say something condescending to you, and then when you point it out and you say you're very condescending, then and we make them realize that, then they don't say, "Oh, I'm sorry." They get mad at you now for making them feel guilty that you pointed out that they said something condescending to you. So you feel you can't win. There's those men because they can't stand to be told they're anything less than fantastic.
but then you have some women too. They just tell
Yeah.
them they are just the yes person. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And so they have
Yes.
no choice anyways. You know what? I mean, we have 7 minutes to go. There's a lot of stuff to talk about here. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this back, that wanting to find the right partner is a lot of work, or else you're gonna end up with somebody you really don't want.
Hmm.
So, what I suggest you do is get a pen and a paper and write down the stuff that you feel that you could do improvement on for yourself,
Yes.
right? If you lack communication, go do a communication course. And when I said communication, not just regular communication. Some of us do not know all the five senses of communication, right? Some of us body language alone. Sometimes if the wife come to the door and look at on a body language, it says it stinks, right? You
Oh,
have
I
to be
love
more
those people with their
right.
everything written all over their face
Their
and
face, right? So somebody just think you don't say
oh,
anything,
horrible.
you go take that, right? The
Yes.
next thing is you need to own up to your mistakes, right? And take
Hmm.
responsibility for it. Okay. You need to understand, okay, what am I bringing into this relationship? Like, what is your value to the relationship? Because some of us, listen, I was on millionaire.com. I'm gonna give you this story. I was on millionaire.com. The guy was 60. And he said that he wants what you call those women who are financially stable. He says he wants financially stable. He wants a lady that is very athletic, financially stable, athletic, and he wants her to be between 25 and 40 or 44, 40, something like 40, yes. And him at 62. That's what he says. Hold on, no. So now I text the guy and I ask him, so you want, first of all, you're 20 years, because he's 62, so he's 22 years older than that woman that he claimed he wants, because he said he wants a woman about 40, 42 something, there. We're just doing our own number here.
Right.
No, okay, so he wants her to be financially stable. He wants her to go to the gym, right? And he wants her to look good. So I'm thinking in my head, then what is he bringing to the table?
I hope it's like amazing.
I'm giving him my youth, because obviously I would be 20 years is junior. So what is he bringing to the table if he will ask me to be financially stable plus him want me look good? So where fee money there? So guys, be realistic.
Well, wait now. Did you meet him?
To the table?
Did you meet him?
No, I haven't met him, but I text him. And
okay. Did you see a picture?
I saw his picture. It looked good still. But then I had to shut because I was 44 and he wanted, I think, an age less than mine. So I text, you know how I'm troublemaker already. I just text him and said, then what you bringing to the table? Because first of all, I'm bringing money. So why would I want you? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
why do I want you? Right? Yeah. You're 62. Guys, don't listen to me. So hold on. That is why I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking, okay, know your worth. What is it you bring into the table? Okay? Yes. Someone to bring on a dysfunctional woman that's gonna come in to the table and it didn't look about it, including me, because I was a caregiver for a long time. As I said to you guys, we're all flawed, including me. So when I'm doing all these criticism, it includes myself, right? Because I'm not perfect. But, but know that, oh my God, in here is so hot. Know that they turn up the heat, guys. They turn up the heat. Or maybe it's me going through menopause. I tell you. Listen, this is what. Know what you want. Know yourself, right? Understand yourself. If you don't understand yourself, go read a book about how do I know moi.
If you want if you want a healthy relationship, start with the relationship with yourself.
Right.
That's the first one. And
challenge yourself.
Yes. And we're speaking from experience, and this is the information we give to our children because we don't want them to repeat the same mistakes. Unfortunately, chances are they might repeat the same mistakes because growing up, I was always told that, oh, I don't want you to go endure what I went through. My parents too were divorced when I was 2. So don't want you to endure what I endured. Don't do the same thing, go through the same thing I did. So listen to me. I'm telling you from experience. And I did exactly the same things they did.
Guys.
So don't do it.
It's true. And she's right. She's absolutely right. Because if you don't know yourself, and you feel horrible and you feel like you want somebody to save you, you're going to attract the wrong toxic people towards you. And that's not the kind of relationship you want, right? You want to attract the right people towards you, because if you know and you're sure of yourself, you won't have an issue. You won't have issues, right? This is not going to come overnight, guys. Small steps. All you have to
Mhm.
do is take responsibility for you. You can't take responsibility for other people, right? We are all, as I said, we are all deeply flawed. Know yourself by watching yourself, challenge yourself, right?
Mhm.
Right? Challenge yourself and put effort into changing. What do I mean by changing? If you have communication issues, put effort in it. Try to communicate. Call up your brother, call up your sister, and try to communicate. Ask them. Said, do you think I'm an effective communicator? Right?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's what you need. And people would tell you. Some of us want to be something that we are not, and we show people what we are not, right?
Right.
Allow someone to see you for who you are. That is how the relationship is going to work. Because if you hide when you get angry, it's going to come out.
Yep. Be proud of who you are, and being proud, it's not about having a lot of money or being this 10 out of 10 with this model
Hmm.
body, and it's not about that. You know, how many times have we met judged somebody just based on their looks? I know I have. Even a guy, and I'd be like, "Oh my goodness," back in the day, we'd say, "Oh, he looks like a jock. Oh, he's probably not very smart. Oh, he shouldn't open his mouth." Right? And then he opens his mouth, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, he's beautiful." Just from the words he speaks. How many times have we thought, "Oh, well, she's not very attractive. She needs to lose a lot of weight." And then they start talking to us, and I she starts speaking, and she becomes right in front of your eyes gorgeous.
Right. Because she just, right?
Mhm.
She's so eloquent and, with
Mhm.
Jojar and,
That's
right.
exactly. So when it comes to accepting the love you deserve, know that you deserve it all. Real love, real care, somebody who gives to you, who you want to give back to, someone who compliments your everything and that you feel good with, someone you truly, when you look at them, you adore. Your heart flutters, your stomach gets butterflies. That can go on forever. That's
Right.
what you deserve. A lot of people don't believe it, but you need to believe it.
And
Believing is the answer.
right. And some of us, like for example, some of us will compromise too much. We sit into a relationship and we don't feel anything. We just go through the day. And then
Mhm.
then we turn 70, we realize, oh my, I'm 70. Who's gonna want me? You had a choice and you
Mhm.
chose not to do anything about it.
Mhm.
Anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys now because it is 48 minutes into our topic here. I mean, I started out with some questions here. How to communicate? What are you interested in? Am I a procrastinator? What am I looking for in a relationship? Am I a deceiver? Am I a pushover? Am I a yes person? What would you improve? What are your goals? And what are you willing to do? Now, we've talked about a lot of stuff. I'm sure you can answer those questions, or what
Mhm.
you should do as an homework is to go answer those questions, right? And try to live by it.
Mhm. Yes. Not easy.
D, you have any last minute to say because we're going to close off.
No, I just feel that if we can help one person get on the right track to happiness, to just feeling good about themselves, then that's a big deal because a domino effect will take place. And we have to realize that we do deserve good people around us, and we all should be practicing how to be more caring and less self-absorbed. working on yourself isn't self-absorption. Remember that. Working on yourself is actually helping. When you build yourself up and you are strong, when you tend to your own garden, then you can help others in their garden.
Exactly. Well said. So guys, so next Friday we will have episode 2, right? And so we're going to take you guys into, after you work on yourself, then now it's going to help you move into, okay, what am I looking for? What kind of
Yeah.
relationship should I be in? Right?
Yes.
So that's our next step here. Right? And then we're going to go through five different steps. One of the steps are going to be like how to maintain a relationship when you're in a relationship, right? And
Hmm.
one of the steps too is going to say, okay, if it's not working, when to say enough is enough, right? Like
Hmm.
get out of it, because you can go into a relationship, why waste time, right? And you know you work on, because when you have self-esteem, it is easy for you to say, you know what, it's not working out,
That's right.
because
So
you're confident, right? And you know
that's right.
yourself, you know what you want, you have all those things in your head, and you know you're proud of yourself, you're not deceiving anybody, you're true to yourself, you have your goals set up, everything. And we did discuss all of that. So anyways, guys, join us again next Friday night at 8 p.m. And I hope this video helped somebody.
Yeah,
Have a good night.
me too. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks, Shireen.
Bye.
Bye.